Most traders think they need a better strategy going into 2026. In reality, trading doesn't click until you make one mental shift. And until you do, nothing else really matters. This took me way longer to understand than it should have. Alright, so today we're going to talk about why trading feels way harder than it should and what to bring into 2026. So most traders will approach the market trying to be right on the next trade. And when they trade losses, they assume something's wrong with their strategy, their timing, or themselves, right? So they might tweak the indicators, change their rules, and jump to the next setup, but the results stay the same. That's because the problem usually isn't the strategy, it's how trades are being judged, right? So the mental shift is that traders need to make is that they need to stop trying to be right and start trying to execute correctly, right? So a losing trade executed perfectly is a success, and a winning trade executed poorly is a failure. So we're going to use an analogy. When we think of a basketball player and you're trying to make money from basketball, you're not going to think about brand deals and sponsorships. You're going to think about how to get better at the actual sport, because money is secondary when it comes to basketball. That's the same thing with trading, right? Once you understand that, trading stops feeling emotional and starts being more mechanical. All right, if you lose but you execute the trade correctly, then you just landed on the right side of probability. All right, so profitable traders don't think of trading as individual trades. They don't think about their worth with each individual trade. They think of how they're doing over a course of many trades. So here is what you need to do. All right, in 2026, you need to be more outcome focused. So what are we going to do here? What are the three main things we should do in 2026 so that we can become profitable and we're not in such an emotional position, right? So the first thing you should do, mindset wise, is to not take losses personally, right? Because losses are just what the probability gives you on a trade. So if you execute a trade perfectly and you lose, it can be frustrating, especially for someone who's hyper emotional. But you must remember, this is a process driven industry. That's how you make money. You don't make money trying to fix the actual strategy. All right, because the strategy most of the time is not broken. It's the mindset, right? So that's what the video is about. So number one, do not take losses personally. All right. Another thing that we have to do is become, like I said, outcome focused. Right? We're focused on how we controlled ourselves in the trade. We have to think differently when we're in a trade. We cannot be scared just because we're in a 10% drawdown. Okay, you have to trust the trade unless it hits your stop loss, right? So we literally have to become a robot if we want to see real outcomes. If we want to see real outcomes, right? We need to be a robot and just control ourselves. It's human instinct to see green, take green, but that's what trading is about. You have to fight against the human instinct and understand that you're rewarded for your patience and your unemotional execution. All right. You can't be forcing trades, and you have to respect stop losses that are set in place when you make a plan before you enter a trade. Once this clicked, I stopped needing to trade every move, and I only cared about if the setup matched my rules. All right. So, judge trades based off execution and not P&L. All right. And the third thing we need to focus on here in 2026 is understanding that you need to have a plan, right? Have a plan. Now, what does that mean? That means you need to know where your take profit levels are, your stop losses, and your entry, right? So these two are your exits right here. And then you have to plan your entry. Usually this is done for me during the pre-market, right? So if I'm looking at a ticker and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to see, I'll enter if this happens. And then once I see the opportunity present itself, then I know where my stop loss and take profit is. All right, once you have a plan and follow the plan and you're outcome focused, trading becomes way more easier. All right, you have to let the setups come to you. You have to let the money will come to you if you know how to act. You cannot be P&L driven. You cannot be P&L driven and expect yourself to improve in the game of trading, right? But if you're struggling right now, it doesn't mean you're bad at trading. It probably just means this mental shift hasn't happened yet, right? But what I will say is you have to stop treating trading as gambling. All right, I've done this before, and that's how I've lost thousands of dollars, but you have to have a routine in place so that this becomes autonomous and easy to follow, right? So if this helped you think differently, I'll be posting more trading mindset and educational videos like this.